Hey, how's it going, my coffee friends? Hey guys, my name's Tony, and you're watching Faith and Coffee Bean. Hey guys, I am a complete coffee fanatic in every single way. I am definitely the home hobbyist type person. I am not a paid professional. I'm the guy who really thinks about coffee too much and obsesses about different ways to do it. If you're like me, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Hey guys, one of the really cool things that happens every now and then is I have a brand that will reach out to me to do a review. No money's exchanged hands. Every opinion is my own in every single way. But Huanyu recently sent this to me, and I'm super excited because this kind of hits the thing I love the most. Something that's budget friendly, something that is a big giant bang for your buck. And y'all, this is really cool. Wanted to kind of just show you the unboxing and what it's like when you get it. One of the things I'm super impressed with is this is a 64 millimeter flat burr blind burr HU style, so espresso style coffee burrs inside there. This thing is a beast. It's heavy, and I made that in a great way. This is really substantial. This is what in a lot of markets is kind of a professional piece you might actually see in a cafe in different parts of the world. So that's really cool. It's very much a cousin of the DF4 kind of line. So I'm super stoked with that, and you can see it right now. It looks a lot like the SD here in the United States, and there's a reason why, and I'll get to that a little bit later on. But what's really neat is that this is a variable speed. So it goes anywhere from basically 800 RPM all the way up to 1500 RPM, which is awesome. There's a built-in ionizer. It's all metal construction. Y'all, this is really cool. It has bellows up top, a 50-gram dosing cup that comes with it on that you can put on the platform that's magnetized. It does not have the direct to portafilter, but what's really great is the dosing cup will fit perfectly on the 58 millimeter. Y'all, I'm super stoked to try this out, and price point, you just can't beat it. All right, guys, how you doing, my coffee friends? Hey, guys, I am crazy excited about this. I am so stoked in so many ways. I'm going to tell you this on a couple levels here, okay? This is why I'm stoked. This particular grinder is on Amazon for about 300 bucks. I know Huanyu sells in other marketplaces as well, so if you're not in the United States, around the world, it's sold by Huanyu in different places. So you could definitely find it. Price-wise is anywhere from about 280 to 300. That's what I've been seeing. US, of course. But yeah, on Amazon right now, guys, this thing is 300. And why that kind of gets me excited, and I know that all price points are kind of subject to what someone has in their pocketbook. I am very, very price conscious. If you guys watch my channel, and thanks so much if you've subscribed, I really appreciate the support. The best way you can support me is by hitting that like and subscribe. And if there's a question you have, let me know in the comments below. And guys, feel free to DM me or message me on Instagram as well. But one of the things, if you watch my channel, you know that I'm always about trying to find the absolute best deals possible. And this particular grinder by Huanyu really hits all of the marks. So let me kind of tell you a little bit about this grinder, show you how it works, and then we'll pull some shots. So this is kind of, this is very much based off of the same type of system that is part of the DF line. Now, this isn't a DF grinder. I'm going to tell you that right now, even though in other parts of the world, it's actually labeled as DF. This is very similar to the SD here in the United States model that's sold by Espresso Outlet and folks like Me Coffee and different brands. And Huanyu has just, I'm like so blown away by this, because what this is where in a lot of those SD models, if you're looking like, wow, that looks familiar, it looks like the SD. It's because the body, this is the plus version, but the big difference is it's the 64 millimeter flat burrs that are inside this thing. So that is just awesome. Let's go ahead and turn it on. So this bad boy is really hefty. It's if you are familiar with like a DF grinder, it's basically the same weight. So it's going to be the same weight as like a DF 64. So you go ahead and you turn it on by this back button. So right here, you could actually drop this down by turning this knob, and I really love the way this looks, from 800 to 1500 RPM. That is awesome. You could set your timing if you wanted to do by timing. It is a single doser. In here, it could hold up to 50 grams of coffee. You get this nice wood bamboo style top. It's really light. You get this awesome hopper. And this is a metal hopper. Okay. Of course, rubber bellows you put up top. The body is basically all metal. Metal chute, metal cup, metal tray, the up tray, and of course the bottom is metal. So this is, like I said, very similar to that DF style grinders. Y'all, this is crazy. For that price point, that's wild. So I'm kind of blown away, guys. I like to find a deal, and that's the most important thing that I look for when I'm shopping around. I know that with this particular model, in other parts of the world, this is really focused for actual cafes. So there's a lot of cafes that will use this. So it's really cool. I know that a lot of times when you see things that are similar to like the Huanyu 64 Flat Burr Grinder I have over there, they say professional, and it is the 64 millimeter conical burr that you would see in something like that. That's really kind of what they're meaning as the professional part, because in a cafe, that's kind of the most popular, something like the Super Jolly. But the difference between something like this and let's say the Huanyu 64 is really, it's more consumer based. I'm not saying that this is not a consumer based item. I'm just saying that it's all metal build, and you really are getting more of that premium experience. And again, that price point is awesome. So one of the things I want to do is just show you what it sounds like without beans in there, turning it on, and I want to show you the adjustments. So this thing is not loud. It's awesome. There's a DC motor. I'm turning it down. You can see me changing the RPM here. So that's at 600. Okay, let's ramp it up. Okay, we'll start again. Ramp it up to 15. So that's all the way at 15. I mean, listen to that, 15. Now there isn't beans in there, but again, it's a DC motor, but it's not very loud. So 1500 RPM. Dropping it back down again. Here's 1100. When it comes to grind speed, a lot of folks might be thinking, well, why do I care about that? The theory is that if you have the higher RPMs, you're going to create, well, A, it's going to be faster, and then B, it's going to create more chaff and be more homogenized. And that tends to be where a lot of folks want to go for espresso. And then when you go with the lower RPMs, that's going to create less chaff and be more precise. That's the best way I'd put it. Of course, I'm just a home hobbyist. What do I know? And that's going to be more suitable for pour over. So that's kind of the thing, is that you have that extra bit of control. I'd like to do a test at some point, a video of pulling shots with the higher RPM, keeping the grind setting at the same thing and kind of testing that out. That's something y'all like to see. Let me know in the comments below. I love to run that test. But yeah, you guys, this is really cool. So I'm going to tell y'all right now, this is awesome. Let's go ahead and start to pull some shots. The one last thing I did kind of want to mention is space-wise. So this is not a huge grinder, but it does, you got to think about it, will take up some space, and everything is going to be on the right-hand side. So depending on how you set up your coffee corner, my coffee corner is kind of limited. So that's why I'm going to be working today with the Tuni E2, which is one of the best budget 58 millimeter espresso machines, but it has a very compact, footprint. So I wanted to go ahead and also show it with the Huanyu 64, just because I know that's a popular grinder right now that people are kind of looking at, and they're both 64 millimeter burrs. All right, guys, let's go ahead and pull some shots. So let's go ahead and do that. I am going to be using the Tuni E2 we're going to be doing an 18 gram precision basket. So, kind of pretty much standard fare for those of us who are really into espresso. And let's go ahead and get this precise. I'm gonna do a little bit of puck prep just so you guys see what I do, and then let's go ahead and pull our first shot. For this one, I'm gonna go ahead and put this right about not quite to 1. We're gonna try that out. There might be some dialing in I need to do. So let me go ahead, get ready for this. Let's do some RDT. Okay. Guys, I've been so impressed with how quiet this thing is. Should have put some more time on that. The bellows work really great. This does have an ionizer built into it. One of the things I do kind of want to mention, guys, you know I am a complete geek. I have done a deep dive into this. So what Huanyu has done has been an improvement to some of the other brands that are out there. There are some other brands in other markets. So if you go to AliExpress or other places, you might see similar looking grinders. But this one's actually a pretty big improvement. A lot of the ones that I did research on didn't have the variable speed and they didn't have the ionizer built in. All right, guys, like I said, we're gonna pull our first shot. I need my coffee. One of the things I really love is this 58 millimeter. Fits really well. And if you were gonna be doing like a little bit of that shake method and you wanted to give it a little shake, I've had other catch cups where they just quite didn't fit. There was a little bit where it came out. And it's nice that this doesn't do that. Let's put the collar on this and let's do some WDT. Okay. Guys, if you have some pro tips, always share it in the comments too. As far as your puck prep, your tools, I'm always interested in knowing what the new stuff is. And if there's anything you want me to try out, let me know. I love this distributor for my cap. Okay. I'm going to use the V6 iCap 58 millimeter, a little shorty. Okay. And I'm going to use an MH bomber. Let's make sure it's nice and clean. Puck screen right up top. Nice and loaded. What a way to say it. All right, there we go. Cool. All right, so let's go ahead and get this shot pulled. There's that pre-infusion. Coming out a little faster than I like. I have a feeling with this I could go a little bit finer too. But overall, pretty decent. Oh, and I forgot to go ahead and turn on my scale. Bummer. Okay, well, we'll pull another shot. Okay, we'll go a little bit finer. So, just kind of, I had to eyeball it there. Just weight-wise, let's figure out what we're at. 37. It was a little longer than I wanted. It's a little bit of a, longer shot. Okay, let's go ahead and give this a little taste. All right, let's give this a little taste. I think I can go a little bit finer for sure, though. It's a pre-infusion. Nice. Stop it. Stopped it a little too late, but there are a lot of crema. So good looking shot for sure. I think the beans are just a little bit older than what I'm used to. I think this bag is kind of on the older side. So I'm going to go ahead and change the beans. I do want to test the consistency here and the extraction. Hey guys, I'm not liking what I'm seeing, so I think I'm going to need to go ahead and open this thing up and do some adjustments. All right, right, nice. So we have a TDS of 12.27. So definitely right in that espresso range, 12.27. Okay. All right, guys, this shot tasted pretty good, but it's not exactly where I want it to be. So let's go ahead and open this grinder up and get right into it. All right, my coffee friends, let's go in here and let's get a little geeky. But let me just kind of say this first and foremost, okay? Please look up other YouTubers' videos like Han's Coffee. He has a wonderful video on how to align burrs and how to do adjustments like this. Um, Lance Hendricks has an amazing video on the exact same topic. You guys, I am a big YouTube fanatic. Everything I've ever really learned other than working in a cafe like 20 years ago has been on YouTube. I'm a huge fan of everyone else's channels. I watch everybody. So do yourself a favor. There's so many really good folks out there. I'm going to go ahead and open this thing up and kind of tell you guys a little bit on what I'm doing and everything so you kind of have an idea. So what I'm doing first is I'm going to go ahead and remove the collar. And inside when you get the grinder, they give you two Allen kits, or excuse me, Allen wrenches. And those Allen wrenches, one is to open up the screws up top, and the other is to fix the collar. So just that's something really cool right from the get-go. I'm opening up because first thing I want to do is just check the alignment of the burrs. So these are blind burrs, and I have, like I said, done kind of a deep dive on this particular grinder. And a lot of folks, according to the forums, are saying that when they get this grinder, the burrs are pretty aligned. So I'm hoping that's what I'm going to find here, basically. But I want to make sure, and the way that I'm doing that is by doing the wide erase, basically marker test. So I'm going to go ahead and open this thing up, mark it up, and then basically we're going to go ahead and turn it on and take it to its 0 point. Like I mentioned, after doing what I do, doing the deep dive into the internet, a lot of folks had talked about how this particular grinder from the factory really needs to be adjusted as far as the collar and where it's at. If you are a big fan of Espresso Outlet like I am, they sell the SD grinder. The SD grinder is basically kind of the little brother to this. That there's just no other way to say it. They have the same design language. The SD just uses a conical versus this is the flat. I am realizing that's exactly what I need to do is to get this adjusted. So big thing I'm going to tell anybody who's going to be purchasing this, definitely tinker with it for sure. So right now what I'm doing is just putting the marker on the outside, and basically this is just to see how it rubs off when we go ahead and turn on the grinder and bring it to its 0 point. When I first opened it up and turned it on and was seasoning it with really cheap coffee, I did notice that it was coming out coarse. That's what kind of brought me to that conclusion. Hey, this just isn't getting fine enough. So really, I just had to fine tune it. So let's go ahead and see what the results look like. Now it's time to put it back together and do it all in reverse. Okay, once everything's in there and secure, what you do is you turn on that motor and you just bring it down. And as soon as you hear that chirping, stop, because you know that you basically brought it down to your 0 point. Okay, y'all, now that I know that the burrs have touched, I'm going to open this up, and what I'm looking for is an even swipe on the outside of the burr. And that's really all it comes down to, and that's really what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for perfection. I just want to make sure that we're in the right place. And for the upper burr set, it definitely is in the right place. And for the lower burr set, I think we're pretty good. So at least I know that it's aligned. I wanted to show you, be careful. It will activate. I've had some grinders that will not activate with the top nut on it. This will. So if you're going to be working on this thing, make sure you're unplugging it and everything, and it's completely powered off. Safety first, y'all, 100%. What I did right there also is just adjust where the 0 point is on the collar. And it is something that Later on, I'm going to find out. I'm going to need to do again, but this one's pretty easy. I used the second Allen key to do that adjustment, and I'm going to put everything together, and I think we have found the sweet spot of where we need to be. So that's the one thing I'm going to say with this particular grinder. You're definitely going to want to make sure everything is dialed in perfectly the right way for sure. And the one thing I'm going to say, guys, is I am not a trained professional. This video is completely for your entertainment because I'm a goofball. Make sure you do your own research, go on the forums, look stuff up because that's the biggest thing. You know, I always like to let you know, kind of do everything at your own risk. There's just no other way to say it. But I like tinkering, so I'm really happy that I was able to get this to the right place where it needs to be. And I think I'm going to be very happy with these results. Now, before I pull the shots, I'm actually having some really cheap beans here that I'm testing everything out with. I really like the consistency way more than when I first did the video here. So I really know that this is going to work now. But I'm going to encourage everyone, when you get a new grinder, have some cheaper beans that you just want to throw in there for testing purposes. Also, you know, a lot of folks really believe in seasoning, and I think, and so I'm one as well. I always have kind of a bag that I'm going to use to kind of test things through. But yeah, I'm really liking the way this is. I think this is really good. It's coming out really powdery, and I can't wait to use it. All right, so we're going to be doing about 18 grams. I'm going to go ahead and lower down the RPM just a bit. So we're going to take it down to 800 on this time. Here we go. It smells really good. Yeah, I love that smell in the morning. Coming out, I'll still a little bit faster, but making some good crema. So that's a plus. Let's go ahead and take it down a little bit finer. But let's test this out just a little bit here. We'll see how we did as far as everything goes and give it a little taste. Let's give it a little stir on the refractometer. 13.99. Go ahead and show y'all. 13.99. Okay. Let's give it a little taste. Cheers. Definitely came out, I think, faster than I'd like. Interesting. It's actually good. not my favorite, but it's definitely good. So good, I wanted to finish it up. Let's go ahead. Let's go finer, because I know we can get better. Goodness. All right, guys, I got my next 18 grams ready to go. I also just wanted to show you this fresh puck. So this is how it came out, and it looks really good. It was a really clean, basically knock. And yeah, I mean, it actually looks pretty good. So let's go ahead. Let's get this finer. I do find personally that, like I said, the actual 0 point with this one is actually probably right over here. Now, I might adjust where I have the collar to make that a little bit better. I've already done an adjustment. They do give you 2 Allen keys in the set. One is for adjusting the collar up here. There's a little tab. So I went ahead, I'll probably end up having to do that again. But this thing is going to go, this is going to be pretty fine. Now, the one thing I'm going to say is these beans are a little bit older, and I tend to have to go really fine with them. So later on today, I have some Mexican Chiapas coming, and I'm very curious to try it with that. And I'm gonna try some light roast here real soon. So let's go ahead and get this going. I'm gonna keep it at the 800. Yeah, going a lot slower because of the 800. So that's good. That's definitely good. There we go, nice and pretty. All right, let's go ahead and pull this. There we go. That's what I'm kind of wanting to see there. Pressure is actually more than what I wanted, but I'll take it versus being too fast. 100%. This is actually too slow, but that's okay. That means what I did worked. Yes, success. Yeah, I sound like a bad scientist right now. Let's go ahead and stop this here right about 30. Wow. There we go. So 29.4. That was, it was too long, but it's okay. Like I said, I'll take that because the other shot was too fast. But as you can see, I didn't move very much in that dial, so that kind of shows you, you know, what you're working with. So, wow, totally creamy. Look at that. That's awesome. Let's go ahead and put this on the refractometer. Well, we're talking about 12.45, 27.9. Interesting. Awesome. Okay, so definitely way right in the espresso zone where we need to be. Let's give it a little taste, y'all. Look at that. Let's give this a taste. Oh, I definitely prefer this shot over the other one. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's good. That's definitely good. Like I said, longer than what I wanted, but that's okay. We could put one more shot even and kind of get it right more in that zone. Or making coffee, you know, commercially, is that you're in that constant search, that constant pursuit for that awesome shot. And if you're not, I don't know. You know, that's where I'm at, guys. Maybe you're like me. Or unless, am I just the crazy one? Let me know in the comments below. Seriously. Oh my goodness. Okay. Let's go ahead. Let's see if I have a. There we go. Let's do that. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and pull this shot. Again, went down, kind of went a little bit coarser. I really am trying to aim for that 1-to-2 ratio just to show you all what this is capable of. I'm looking for about 30 grams of coffee, 18 grams in. I'm using a MH Bomber basket, a iCap portafilter. Let's hit this button. Okay, see, I like this way better. This is looking cleaner. Nice. I'm digging this. 14 seconds, 10 grams. There we go. This looks good. There we go. Let's stop it right about there. 30 and 29. Yes! Woohoo! Guys, I know I'm a dork. But you know, when you just get that, you worked and you put the effort in and you kind of get exactly what you're looking for, I don't think there's anything better than that. Let's go ahead. Let's put this on the refractometer, give it a taste. I call that success. Totally. Lots of good crema. Lots of good crema. That is awesome. Beautiful shot. All right, nice and creamy. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's see where we're at refractometer here. Okay. Wow. Okay. So definitely this is in the zone that I want to be in. So this is 14.19, 18 grams, basically 30-second shot, 30 out, that 1-to-2 ratio. Y'all, let's give this a taste. Wow. Okay, this looks good. That's the best shot I've pulled from this. Best shot I pulled from this for sure. Y'all, that is good. Um, as far as tasting notes go, I've talked a lot about Birdie before, but it's a Robusta and Arabica blend. It definitely is espresso forward. It's espresso minded. It's folks who want to get a lot of crema, creamy, have a lot of caffeine, almost have like that Italian type of coffee style. But it's where Italian coffee might have 80% Arabica, 20% Robusta. This is an 80%. It's swapped. So, y'all, I am super happy. This is really good. Um, I might put some light roast on it, but I'm gonna tell you guys this right now. I'm stoked. I really was able to accomplish what I want to accomplish, and I'm pretty excited with this. Here's kind of my final thoughts on this grinder. So I think for this price, this grinder is punching way above its weight. When you look on Amazon, if you're in the U.S. market and Canada, typically U.S. it's about $300. If you look into other markets, like stuff like AliExpress and different places, I've seen it for right about the same price, guys. So when you really think about this is kind of it's there's no other way to say it. This is going to be compared to like the DF64V. Um, DF64V and the DF64 line are always going to be kind of like that king, but this is as far as like the most popular what people have. But I think if you're budget minded like me, and I definitely am, I would safely say this could be one of the most high end at the price point, kind of where things meet. The one thing I'm going to say though, like I mentioned before, is you definitely are going to want to make sure it's calibrated, make sure you want to fiddle with it. This is not going to be one of those situations, well, I hope it is, where you get it out of the box, you put it on there, and everything just works perfect. I do, and that's okay. See, for me, I definitely think that's worth it. For me to get something at this price point that has variable speed, that could be as robust at all metal construction, the ionizer, the metal hopper up top, this is totally worth it. But the one thing I'm just going to say is that, again, this is more for that person who wants to kind of take that step up, who wants to fiddle with it. So, y'all, this is really cool. I'm super happy to have this in my coffee corner. I cannot wait to just continue to make some great coffee with it. Uh, y'all, if you like content like this, make sure you like and subscribe. If you have any questions, let me know. I definitely am going to do lives with this. Y'all, if you don't know this, I go live about 2 to 3 times a week. I try to, and that's really just a way so I could connect with you. Make sure you hit that bell notification. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, definitely do so. You can always DM me there. Y'all, this is also available in my Amazon storefront. So the way that works, guys, is again, none of this is sponsored. This is not something someone paid me to do. This is a review that's completely on my own. Um, Huanyu did send me this out so I could review it, so I really am appreciative of that. But if you want to purchase this, if you go to my Amazon storefront, a small percentage does go back to the channel. It goes back to help me buy more beans and do more stuff like this for you guys. So I definitely appreciate the support. Thank you all for watching. Gosh, I'm so happy to have this. This is really cool.